Brothers and sisters, generals, family, younger or older, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you, and may that great divine come on our lives, and I place that goal over our families. May all of our families prosper, and everything we touch turn to gold. And those we held dear in our families that left a righteous impact, may they rest in peace and in power. Those who transition, because their spirit is still among us. And we take all of those that transition and we take that righteous power they had and we utilize it and incorporate it into our lives and be the powerfulest brother and sister, young or older, we can possibly be. But also knowing reality. When I say power, you already know mind, body, and soul. And good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whatever time zone that we are in. If you are in a stable place and you're healthy and you don't have too many things pulling on you, be thankful, have gratitude, because gratitude builds power deep within. And I want to get into it, and welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion. And what's on my banner here is a radiation of power and magnetic meditation, because we have to meditate whatever it takes to get to that place of peace that dwells deep within our divine soul. We got every now and then we got to take time off from things that pull on us in this world and get off to oneself so we can keep oneself stable and think about what we need. Not think, but marinate, meditate on what we need, where we're going, where we are. Stay clairvoyant in this life. You'll never go wrong. Stay on point. Anticipation is our superpower. Inner peace is our superpower. So I want to speak on engage with our inner core and manifest abundance and more. I want to say it again. Engage within our inner core and manifest abundance and more. And abundance could be in our lives, especially discipline, children, family, significant other, most of all ourselves. Because if we got love at the inner core, real love, we love ourselves, it will radiate off onto the world, our families, anyone we connect with, even the so-called ops. Again, those who are righteous, we have no enemies, because when you're not seeking trouble, when you're not seeking wrong, and you're seeking to do good things, this brother or sister, family member, younger or older, that's what we'll come into. Now, will it be challenging sometimes? Of course, because that's what builds us, In every battle, it's always a challenge. But what happens when we keep piercing through and keep cultivating and not letting nothing stop us? Because what stands in the way becomes the way. But when you break down that stress wall, and you've done it time and time again, things become simpler because, again, we learn the art of anticipation, and we get into a space where we begin to prevent things. We have to have a life of prevention. Think of all the things that we could have did that we didn't do. Remember, every right choice we make, we elevate, and that's in our mind, body, and soul. Then we begin to pay attention to what we see, hear, and feel. And what's that? That's the seventh sense, 7 senses, that last one, the grand central of this whole body, that good old psyche. And I'm going to get into that. And you hear me talk about the psyche on every other podcast, video, song, because whatever was the most challenge for me to get to a stable place, that's what one teaches. Again, I teach, suggest, and give advice. But we always stay a student. And what I like to say that I want to push out there, we need to change that narrative. We're not followers. Don't let this social media world make you think we are followers. We all can be leaders. Leaders and teachers is inside all of us. But it starts right where we are. It's not always about leading someone, because if we can't even lead ourselves and be disciplined in our own lives, how the hell are we going to lead others? So it's always going to come back full circle every rip. Always going to come back to oneself, because when you can master your emotions, master your impulses, and deflect toxic things that try to influence us. Again, folks, it's me too. I go through battles just like everyone else. And that's another great tool of engaging in an inner core. It's being honest with oneself. Because if you're honest with yourself, you be honest with everyone else, especially the righteous brothers and sisters we are connected to, whether in our families or in the world or online. You know, I bring up online a lot and use online in analogies because that's the time we're in. We're in social media age. So, you know, that's why we have to meditate, take time off to ourselves and look above and beyond, over the horizon to wonderful things and not petty things that are before us. Again, any petty, insignificant thing stands in the way that we let stand in the way and we don't do nothing about it, it becomes the way. So again, goes back to the woulda, coulda, shouldas. You know, unless you love being a hamster on the wheel, you know, again, I don't make light of individuals, brother or sister, young or older, that's having a challenge with that mind, that psyche, because there's a lot of things out here tugging on us. But at the same time, there's a lot of righteous things out here. But it comes to us, but at the same time, we have to seek it. We have to seek it out, you know. And you can't be afraid. Just step in there, step out there. I always use that as an example. I always bring up how shy I used to be, and there's many of us that used to be shy, you know. And it's not a flaw in character. You just have to be honest with yourself and know that's just part of our character. But being shyness doesn't mean weakness. You know, we can turn that shyness into power. Because most people who were shy or whatever, we become strong observers. It's not a shy thing anymore. It becomes a cautious thing, not a paranoid thing. That's how you keep looking young, by not getting wrapped up in drama, stress, and etc. Anything that'll bring our energy down, because we all know how sadness can make you feel, anger. That's why you hear a lot of us great reachers and teachers speak on mastering one's emotions, so you can see through the smoke screens, because anger can blind you. Rage, violence, all that kind of stuff will keep you from seeing the clear picture and paying attention, being aware of consequences that could come down the road. So that's why I say we are leaders and teachers. Teach oneself, then we can begin to teach everyone else. My favorite thing to say, righteous ripple effect. Even when the odds looks like it's against you, it's against you. Have the great divine ever led us astray? When we are in that space and we're listening to that divine spirit, and can't forget Mama Nature, you know, those two forces will never lead us astray. But again, things that happen we're not supposed to understand. But if we're righteous to the pit of our soul, to the core of our soul, that should give us our confidence. And we enjoy the journey, you know, have fun, you know, crack jokes and connect to loved ones, and, you know, stick with reality, you know, stay away from things that can influence us and sway us away. Stay away from negative energy, subtle or aggressive. It's most important. And doing these things and pay attention to areas in our body, areas will keep us on point. And always keep all pistons firing. You know, one piston go out, see why it went out. Focus on it. A thought comes in our mind, see where it come from. Don't just overlook things. You know, if you want to step into that divine power that's in all melanated brothers and sisters, it's just a matter of what, as all us teachers say, it's going within, you know, speaking to oneself. It don't always have to be in front of nobody. Just reach inside and pull out that power. Tap into that part of our brain that's just waiting to manifest great creative things within us, because there's a trillion and billion divine gifts and tools that A lot of us just carry inside so much potential to be more than what we are, especially in our mind. Because where the mind goes, the body goes. And again, we're leaders and teachers with a student spirit. And thank those who've been coming in and listening to music, father and son discussions, podcasts, or videos. I thank you, and any good energy you hear, brother or sister, take it and pass it on to someone else. All right, I want to get into this summary, my brothers and sisters, and one is about the psyche, and I got another little side note summary that I want to read, but I want to get into it. We're going to have another meditative moment. Salute, and may that great divine protect us, protection for ourselves, from ourselves, so we don't ever become our own worst enemy. Because a lot of times it's not the things on the outside that sway us and make us do things. It's how we think in our mind. But we have to stay at it. We have to practice different things. We have to do things on purpose. Make it where things become effortless. We won't have to be fake and all that shit. No, be real as we can, even through the mix of mistakes. I love rhyming. All right, let's go. Mastering our mind means to have control over the thoughts. What I was just talking about. You have, or we have, and not just allow the mind to run wild. That is very, very important, because that's where the impulses come in, and mastering one's emotions. I'm going to read that little part one more time. Mastering our mind means, or psyche, the central, means to have control over the thoughts we have, and not, emphasis on not just allowing the mind to run wild. That's why you can't be like drunk all the time and buzzed up, because I seen a quote in I know it's kind of, but you can't be scared of the truth. You have to step into the truth. The truth is not always easy, but when we are intoxicated and drunk and not aware, I gotta say it, that's when the devil can enter. That's when we just open up for the world. And even if we're not intoxicated or whatever, if we're just not aware, we don't care, and I'm telling you, if we're healthy, if we're able, now we're talking about able human body, brothers and sisters, and you just open up for anything, well, guess what? Anything will enter. So this is why we master oneself, not to be this perfect being, no, so we can live the best life we can possibly live, because all we got to do is start with a right heart, and everything else will lead or follow. Okay, now I want to get to the 7 points in the summary that I wanted to read about mastering one's psyche, and how so very, very important it is. Because again, if we're not watching how we act, especially if we got children, we don't want no toxic ripple effect. We want a righteous ripple effect. Number one, upgrade our beliefs, and we upgrade it to knowing, because knowing has foundation. Beliefs can have doubt in there, and if you want evidence, just look out into the world, social media, things we have seen or experiences. Look at those who believe in things that are utterly ridiculous. So we have to know, especially when it comes to truth, we have to know to the pit of the soul. And it's not about knowing everything, just knowing oneself and preventing toxic things from happening, especially if we have children. All right, number two, learn our saboteur's inner critic voice, and notice when it's hijacking you. In other words, don't listen to the wrong voice, and watch out for justification. Some justification can get you in trouble unless it's a righteous justification. Learn our saboteur inner critic voice, and notice when it's hijacking you, like sways of the world, person, place, thing, politics, celebs, artists, things like that. But that voice within that tell us, you better listen to that voice. The mind is nothing to fucking play with. I hate to cuss, but I got to put emphasis on that. Just think of cuss, as I said in a comedy skit I did. Cuss word is just an exclamation point. That emphasis on that. We have to watch out for things that hijack our mind. And many great teachers speak on this, brother or sister. Salute. Number three, engage our sage. And I actually didn't know what that means, so I looked that up, and I'll get back to that. Engage our sage. And that's actually very powerful, and I'm gonna read that. Let's go on to number four. Number four, summary. Introduce better self-talk. That's something I talk about. That's like meditation. Or if we pray, it better be deep pray. And it don't always have to be where we're speaking. Don't say anything. Just think it into existence in our mind. Remember, the great divine doesn't always have to hear us speak because it knows us better than we know ourselves, remember, as well as Mother Nature. So speak out, call down strength, and everything else will come. So what did I say? Yeah, introduce better self-talk. We got to talk down on negative thoughts, devilish thinking, because you remember what if we done bad things in the past, where we should know better if we're up in age or at a level of self-awareness. Number 5, watch what we consume. Again, these things are for me too now, because, things are pretty tricky these days. That's why we got to stay on that psyche. Watch what goes in, what goes out. Watch what we consume. That's whether buying things, looking at things. We have to watch out for lusting for money, attention, lusting for an individual, brother or sister. We just have to be careful, because we want our minds sharp, especially if we got what? Children, family, significant other. That's why we do these things, even if we don't have any of those things by ourselves. At some point, some point or another, we're going to connect with the human being because we are social creatures. So that's why we keep these things right. Unless we don't have love and we don't care, then you're going off to your own space and let me know how that work out. If you want to be toxic, let me know how that work out. All right, number 7, which is the most important of all, and it's in probably most summaries and definition. Meditate. What I was just talking about. Meditation keeps us sane, keeps us stable. It's like a mental invoice. It keeps us sharp, keeps us aware, so we can be ready. Because when you're in a righteous space, not too many things will catch us off the left. And those are the times when that divine spirit will speak to us when we're meditating. Because when you're away from noise, distractions, that's when you can hear yourself. You can hear your voice, righteous things now, not wrong things. And those are the moments where we fight those battles. When we do, we think about the thoughts that enter and we see where they come from. We deal with it, fight it, deflect it, and keep it moving. Real talk. That's stabilizing and controlling one's emotion, thoughts, actions, all that, again, especially if we have children. Number 8, engage in our predicator ally, which is the great divine, or say it again. Engage a predicator ally. And let's say ally. On number 8, that's kind of engage a predicator ally. I think that's it. Yeah, ally. Yeah, well, to me, what I'm getting from that, and whatever you get from that, this is everybody gets, different things from different definitions and summaries. But what I get from that is our ally is loving ourselves, that great divine, Mother Nature, brothers and sisters of the world that care, family members that care. In other words, that's what we project our energy to, our righteous energy. That's what we put our energy into, our family, those who care about us, those who want to rise, those who want to see the good things in humanity and or culture. Those are the types of things we engage in. You have to be very, very careful what we engage in. Our soul is the most important thing that inner core is what we need to engage in, and manifest abundance and more. I love to rhyme. All right. Now I want to go back to that word sage, engage our sage. And I want to get into that, what that means. Okay. We're going to go over. All right. Engaging our sage is a concept from the positive intelligence program that refers to using the positive part of our brain to respond to challenges with a calm and clear mind. Emphasis on that. Activating the sage region of our brain gives you access to the 5 sage powers. These powers consist of empathize, explore, innovate, navigate, and activate. I love how that rhymes. Y'all know I love rhyming. All right. The 5 powers: empathize, explore, innovate, navigate, and activate. And these are all righteous. We're not talking about manipulation and none of that shit. We're talking about righteous actions. because that's what will bring a righteous return. All right. Help us form positive mental habits. Overcome self-sabotaging behaviors. Overcome, emphasis on overcome self-sabotaging behaviors and achieve our true potential, because a lot of us have it. Goes back to what I always say. All melanated brothers have a divine gift and or power. And the sabotaging behaviors, the moment we hurt someone intentionally and we know better, we just begin to hurt ourselves. Just a matter of time. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So it really doesn't matter what we think or say or know about karma. Do evil shit, commit devilish acts, and let me know how that work out. Because again, most of our greatest reachers and teachers, some of our wisest members of our family, we know what it is to live an evil, bad, selfish, don't give a damn life. Bad things will come in return. If you don't learn from it, you'll just keep what? Running on that hamster on a wheel. I call that the hamster on the wheel mentality. That some of y'all, you hear me say a lot. Been there, done that. So we have to seek to learn, and we have to be ready for when we do kind of get knocked back sometimes or things happen. But if we love oneself and we've mastered oneself, brother or sister, and we're engaging in our inner core, we will manifest abundance and more. But we have to put forth the effort, and we can't be hurting people along the way. You can't speak God and then hurting people, or just hurting yourself, because that great divine don't even want us hurting ourselves, because we can't show love. We don't have love, and again, a lot of us reachers and teachers speak on this. If you're feeling some kind of way, listen to someone, read something, get some therapy, anything to help us stay stable, because you can't keep repeating the same thing or doing the same thing that's toxic and expect a different result. You hear a lot of us teachers speak on that, real talk, but we say that so much because it's so very, very true. So if you've learned, let's get out of the woulda, coulda, shoulda syndrome. Let's step into that great part of us. Don't you want to be better? Don't you want life to be better? But it all starts with self. So the inner core is what we got to get to, and we'll manifest abundance and more. So this has been another edition of EBX Discussion. Take meditative moments when you can, brother or sister, family, generals, younger or older, and let nothing in this world stop you. If you want great things, if you want love to come, if you want abundance to come, if you want to stop, if you don't want to have a dark, you want to have a happy life, you just got circumstances and challenges. Do things to make things better, but we have to seek it. It's not just going to drop on our lap. But if we seek things out and be righteous on purpose, even when we don't have to, when we're not looking for nothing, you'd be surprised. But we'll manifest, abundance and more. But we have to engage in the inner core. I'm telling you, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. Salute.